let's close the case on this 4 wide hero vehicles. I'm giving it up for now. For from now until Convergence comes out, I'll go through all the reasons why and why I'm probably going to pick it right back up when Convergence comes out. All right, and what it really comes down to is luck. We can't get lucky with 4 wide vehicles. At our luckiest, our absolute most lucky, we're looking at 6 damage round 1. So our round 1 plan is to end round 1 with a vehicle and $1 extra. More extra dollars is great, but vehicle and $1 extra. We could be taking armored reinforcement for most of that effect, essentially. So what we're doing is we're trading armored reinforcement. We're saying, no, screw that. We don't want the 3-point plot. We want the 7-point character. And we are making a bet every game that we're going to get to resolve that secondary character's die twice. If it's rookie pilot, we're either going to pick up a money and some damage on both of those resolutions, or if it's Anakin, we want 2 money. And we are really betting the farm on that. By way of comparison, a Vader Greedo can get lucky and get a Fear and Deadman for 16, and then follow that up with another 3 on Vader die, another 2 on Greedo, and then blah. It just gets disgusting. Deck can get lucky with a Friends in High Places. Deck can get lucky by rolling nothing but money round 1 as Snoke and being able to get out of Vader's Fist and slam 9. A lot of lucky things that can happen. Or put another way, what we are trying to do is so underpowered compared to what everybody else is trying to do that only our massive health pool and good removal helps us keep up. And we are really just selling entirely. My God, what is that? We are just selling our round 1 up the river for little payoff. The deck is very fun to play. I highly encourage anybody who wanted to do vehicles but didn't really know what they were doing or anything like that to give it a try, because it will force you to get better at sequencing, and that's really the key part of the deck is sequencing. That's another reason I'm giving it up for now. I'm one of the better vehicle players. And you can't just look 1 round ahead or 1 turn ahead, 2 actions ahead, 3 actions ahead. You have to plan out your entire round pretty much right from the time you draw cards. And you have to plan for almost every eventuality based on, what do I do if I roll this? What do I do if he rolls that? What do I do if he plays this? Anything of that nature. And you have to be perfect just to keep up. Just to keep up, you have to be perfect. And it's rare that it gets to be overwhelming. All right, another big thing is this Theed situation. We need Rally Aid to fire off at least once just to combat Theed for 2 rounds. We need it to fire off twice to combat all the other free money that decks are getting. We aren't running Yoda in this deck, and we aren't getting free money. We have to earn our money through Rally Aid or by resolving character dice for money, which doesn't feel great. So at our best, we're matching the output of Snoke Tarkin or something else comparable to that, because they get to spend no money, turn blanks into damage, and then keep it moving from there. And Aftermath, Tech Team, anything like that, it's just a stopgap to give us a consolation prize when the inevitable happens. All right. Now, I don't think that I wasted any time on this deck, and this is why. If you look at any other deck in the format right now, they are losing something. They're losing something major. The exception to this rule being the Snoke deck, because the Snoke deck is just Elite Snoke, 2 other characters, and 2 Vader's Fist, and we'll figure it out from there, right? That's the Snoke deck. Right now, every other deck is losing major things. Vader is losing Force Illusion. Bait and Switch, I think, is gone. I think that was Empire at War. Right? They're losing a lot of things that allow Vader to live and give him inevitability or a guaranteed massive damage. Like even Force Strike is gone. One of the staples since day one, gone out of the Vader deck. Okay? Ancient Lightsabers, gone. Pretty much any of the good 2-cost stuff is walking out the door. Right? If you're looking at anything in Hero Yellow or Han Kira, hyperspace jumps are gone, and those were a big problem. Right? All of the free dice are gone out of Snoke Tarkin unless some stuff's getting reprinted. They're going to have to actually spend money, and that helps us. Right? What do we lose out of the 4 wide or 3 wide, small vehicle, traditional hero vehicle deck? We're losing T-47 airspeeders. We're losing a Rally Aid tech team. And on the removal side, we're losing Mind Trick and Caution. But if we stay Rainbow, we get to pick up absolutely anything that meets or exceeds those, as far as mitigation is concerned. We get to pick up any source of free money that comes out in neutral or hero. And the only thing we really have to do is nail down a solid character suite. So we get to keep L3 and Anakin, but we lose the Jedi Instructor and the Rookie Pilot. So what we're looking for is either a decent red at 7. We can replace the Jedi Instructor with, there's not really a shortage of blue options at 8. And we could even go back to the old Jedi Instructor if we needed to, and we probably would if we ended up putting in R2-D2 to cover the loss of C-3PO. It's fine. Not a big deal. Or we're looking for a 1-point plot that's good. We can knock our red 7 slot, our Rookie Pilot slot, we can knock that down to a Gungan Warrior and have a feel-good garbage shoot target. Reasonable. Or if we are fine with the Gungan Warrior, we can pick up any blue 9. That would be better than Satine. In this deck specifically, I think L3 stays in over Satine just because of the Anakin focus there. I do like the reroll off Satine. I'm going to be taking a look at her, but in this deck, I like Anakin focusing L3's die to a double focus and being able to close out the rest of our round. All right, other things that people are going to be losing. EMP grenades has gone out of the format. Disable has gone out of the format. For what little people were running it, I guess. Sabotage is gone. We don't care about that. I don't think anybody, even after rotation, would bother to run Force Rend. But the free money makes that a little more difficult to use for effect. We still get to keep our N1 Starfighters. Be good in the Shadowcaster. And that's really what I'd be comparing to, because right now, just as in the future, decks are relative. I will not be running this 4 wide in Portland because relative to even Shadowcaster right now, it's not nearly as reliable. Relative to any of the other decks, it has nowhere near that top end, and it's not as reliable. So in the future, the first measuring stick to stack us up against will be the Shadowcaster deck in Trilogy, seeing what they can pick up. One good thing is that one of the things that we're looking for is either a way to keep up on money or have a chance at battlefield control. I don't think there's a reasonable way to have a chance at battlefield control unless like some characters come out that are just ridiculously undercosted for the value showing on their dice. But if the rumor of a Theed nerf is true, We get a little bit of a fighting chance on being able to keep up with resources with all of our focus. Because if the biggest sources of free money are going to be Yoda, Snoke, and I think that's it for free. You have the Well Connected and the Respite, but if those are our free money sources, and then people have to take bartering or something like that for anything else, then we're in a good spot on money. For battlefield control, at least for the first round or two, or for going into round 2, Trilogy ends up being 3 wide, which I think it will, because the only compelling double character deck, to my knowledge, is going to be either a blue hero deck or Vader and Greedo, or Vader and whoever comes out. It's not inconceivable for us to be able to take battlefield control. And what that does is it opens up one other option for massive mitigation, and that's aerial advantage. Right now, our mitigation is good, but it's not necessarily blowout unless we get an amazing mind trick to go off. Aerial advantage is blowout in a card. Outside of Vader matchups, Garbage Shoot is blowout in a card. So if we can drop things that are merely good and shoot straight for the blowouts, we'll end up in a good spot. We are losing the T-47. I'm not incredibly thrilled about having to run 3-cost vehicles without Rally Aid. So if nothing else pops up in the 2-cost slot, we may either move to X-Wings, or we can stick with what we got in a minor sense. The Resistance Crate Speeder, and then 1 black 1 probably comes back in. The N1s are too good at 3 costs right now with Shadowcaster looming above us. And we could just start running a couple of mods. If we start running good mods and we have good income, then Outgun starts looking like a blowout card as well. And that's pretty decent. Not unhappy about that. Any 2-cost vehicle that comes out probably gets slotted in just because it's 2 costs and it works out well. But again, we're going to be looking at how we stack up to Shadowcaster. Maybe the right move overall is just to move to Armored Reinforcement, go back down to 3 wide, and be able to tutor out an N1 if we run into something. But as it stands, I'm happy with the 4 wide looking forward into the future, into trilogies. I think it's doable. I think it's sustainable. And probably the make or break is going to come down to how many decks other than Yoda can afford to run Force Wave. Because I'm pretty sure upcoming standard is going to be more 3 wide than what we have at the moment. So Force Wave is going to start trying to get jammed back into decks. I would bet any Snoke deck could run it. Any Yoda deck obviously can, but outside of that, I'd be curious to see how it shakes out. I think that'll be the make or break for the deck itself. But even with just seeing Satine at her cost, I am feeling pretty good about being able to evaluate a lot of different character suites, plus or minus Armored Reinforcement. Try to get this very wide die spammy vehicle deck thing going on. I hope that these videos at least showed you how a deck can be evaluated, a deck can be tweaked, and then just as importantly, pushed off to the side when it's found wanting. And you can have a pet deck, and you can love it to death, and then you just have to let it go sometimes. That's part of the process. I think wide vehicles may end up being a trap deck for me, probably for years to come. And I just like Ahsoka, I'm going to keep trying to make it work. Hopefully it comes around and becomes useful at some point. And when it does, you'll be the first to know, I promise. So thanks for watching the series on this, and I hope you learned something. I know I definitely did learn something going through. It was difficult at times to articulate things in such a way that they would make sense. And in so doing, I uncovered a lot of like presuppositions that really had no backing on my end. So putting myself out there for massive ridicule really forced me to try to take a look at my assumptions and deal with them in a way that got me out alive without getting torn to shreds in Discord. So take it easy. I don't know what I have coming up after Portland. I think everybody's just kind of on standby. Maybe do some trilogies, maybe do some card evaluation as spoilers keep coming out. Seeing how they actually stack up in practice. I think things like Force Storm and all the other stuff that we're seeing coming out is being held up against what we can do right now with all of this free money. I think once the free money goes away, I think a lot of the effectiveness goes away, or a lot of the excitement, and reality has to set in sometime. So I'll just poop on everyone's parade there. Until then, take it easy.